What's up and welcome back to Cryptographics, and today I want to go over Pulsechain testnet version 4 as it released actually about a week ago now, and I'll explain why I didn't talk about it on the channel right away shortly here, but I do want to go over what it is, why it happened, and what it's pointing to. So stay tuned for the explanation that I have for you here. But on April 20th, 2023, Richard Hart put up a tweet that said Pulsechain testnet version 4 is up, and it was at a period where there hadn't been much tweeting from him, and he was oddly silent, and he still has been oddly silent. And fast forward about a week, we've seen this tweet come up now, which is really great Pulsechain.com news. Withdrawals are coming to testnet version 4, the Shanghai upgrade, probably tomorrow. And so we're probably going to see those within the next 24 hours. But the question is, what is this Shanghai upgrade? Well, let's dive into it right here. There's a very deep dive that we could do here, but for simplicity's sake, I'm going to keep this very brief just so it's easy to digest and you get the overarching theme of why it happened in the first place. Then we could talk about version 4 and why it came into existence. So in brief, of course, Ethereum's Shanghai upgrade is a fork that took place in April 2023. The Shanghai fork implemented EIP 4895, which is just Ethereum Improvement Proposal. EIP is just that. It's just an acronym for that. Which allows validators to withdraw ETH that has been staked since as long ago as December 2020. So it's a pretty big event, actually, for Ethereum. About 14% of all ETH are currently staked, accounting for 16 million tokens and a current value of over $26 billion. The Shanghai fork has also several other EIPs, including Capella, mostly designed to reduce gas costs for Ethereum developers. Now, the fork notably does not include the Ethereum Improvement Proposal 4844, which facilitates the sharding of the Ethereum blockchain onto multiple chains in order to facilitate scalability. We're not going to get into that at all today. But this happened on Ethereum this month. And Richard Hart, his devs, and his team wanted to implement this as easy as possible into the Pulsechain testnet. Now, the problem was that it was far easier to make a brand new testnet than to basically fork V3, make a V3B, and try to implement all of that code. So Brett EP, he's one of the Pulsechain developers. He's very public. He has been very active online recently. It's been great. He's been helping people decode a lot of errors that have been going on, and just been, he sounds like honestly a great dude. So this is what he says. There are no plans for a version 5. Version 4 was only launched because the change that needed to be made was easier and faster to release with a clean testnet versus make a whole bunch of code changes to do a fork. V4 was the right call for everyone. APR fixed gets us closer to mainnet faster. And that APR actually increased somewhere around 35% roughly for any validators on the network, or currently roughly. And that'll fluctuate over time as more validators join. But that's a pretty sweet deal to incentivize validators to come on the network and help out. So that's the main reason for V4. Now, at least in my opinion, and from what it sounds like Brett EP is saying, V3, this still is the same as V3, and it was only called V4 because it was easier to do than call it V3B and have less work. But this is, from everything that I'm seeing online, the last possible thing that we know of that needs to be fixed, which is like one of the big issues or one of the things that needs a big overhaul. So V4, is it the last testnet? Well, ultimately, I don't know fully, but here's a few things to consider. Richard Hart has been very, very errant on his tweets. He's been pretty much non-existent over the last week or so, which is interesting. We have the last known thing that needs to be implemented and then tested. And I'm seeing everywhere from people all across the ecosystem that are all thinking the same thing. Like, this might actually be it this time. Like, this might be the thing that needed to get fixed so that we could actually launch for Pulsechain Mainnet. Now, of course, this is the thing we have to remember here, is that this is all the known things that need to be changed on the network. Now, if anything else comes up, of course, it's going to take more time. And at this point, I'm planning for tomorrow in terms of my strategies, how ready I am, but I'm expecting by 2026. I know it sucks to think about Pulsechain taking longer to launch, but it ultimately will launch. So even if version 5 comes along, cool. I would venture to say that it is far better to have a network that is absolutely flawless, or as close to flawless as can possibly be, than something that's on the market prematurely and has a bunch of failures and flops. So yes, I actually do think that we're extremely close to the launch of Pulsechain Mainnet now. I didn't want to post a video right away because I did not want to make a big hopium-filled video or anything crazy, because to me, this is version 3. It's the exact same experience for the average user like you and I. It only really changes on the back end for the validators. So all the links to the previous videos, if you've seen my V3 bridge, all that stuff, that is all basically the exact same. Now, there is a new version of the PulseX exchange, which is, and you can do this for any of the websites that you have as well. I'll put all the links in the description to the version 4, the testnet, to the block explorer, to the scan.v4.pulsechain.com, and to the pulse ramp as well. But the simple way you can do that, if you already have these links saved, is you can simply just go into your URL and you can just type in, instead of 3, you can delete the 3 out of the URL, press 4, and then boom, you come to this website. And everything in here is looking great. I mean, you've got commas in here. Commas look great. You've got the farms look amazing. Everything is working very smooth. We've even got in the info section here, we've even got liquidity. We've got total volume. We've got prices. And if we go into this as well, we even have price charts. So everything is looking so good. And I actually do think we're really, really close. So the question I would ask you is, are you comfortable? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know how to make the few moves that you plan on making? Are you ready? I've made a few videos in the past about how to bridge. I've made a few videos about three or four things you need to know. But really, at the end of the day, you need to just prepare and you need to put some practice in if you're not familiar with this technology and working with this stuff, just to be familiar. For a lot of you, it's going to be very, very simple in moves, where it's going to be moving funds from Ethereum over to the Pulsechain side and then making a swap, which really is 2-3 moves tops. You're starting in your Ethereum wallet, you're bridging across the Pulsechain, and then you're swapping over from whatever thing you brought over on the Ethereum side or from the Ethereum side to whatever you want to buy or whatever you want to get on the Pulsechain side. It's really that simple. And if you think of it like that and try to think of things as simply as they can be, you're going to set yourself up for success, and you're going to remember, and you're not going to make any mistakes on the day. So that's honestly all I had for this video. I just wanted to come out and make sure you guys were aware that Pulsechain version 4 was out, why it's here, and that I actually do think that we're getting extremely close to launch. It could be a week or two away, it could be a month still, but I think this is our signal for we're ridiculously close. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to work with me one-on-one on this, I do, of course, do coaching calls on my website, cryptographics.com. Go there. There's going to be a link in the description for 30-minute calls and 1-hour calls. And also, make sure you are smashing that like and subscribe button, and drop a comment with what you think, when you think Pulsechain is coming out, and what you're most excited for. Also, I've got my copy of the paperback book that Crypto Vince and I have recently released, and it's fantastic. If you haven't already, I have a free version in the comments. The Kindle version on phone is absolutely free. You can also pick up either a hard copy or paperback on Amazon. It'd be amazing if you did that and left a review for us. It would mean the world. So with that being said, that's all I wanted to bring you guys today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys very soon in the next video. Peace.